Someone.
Good catch.
He might be.
Someone what?
I was gonna say when someone texted me, I thought it was John, but it's not.
Oh, is Kevin coming on tonight?
I don't know, dude. I have not talked to Christian. Like
Jason said he was bringing him on this week, and I like Kevin. He's a Cardinals fan. And guess what tomorrow is?
opening day.
Cardinals opening day. There's a bunch of people thinking about leaving work early and going up to the rally. I'm one of them.
Bro, we are on like 5 different platforms right now.
Well, look, if I get up there, I might be able to run into the Wizard of Oz. And if I can run into the Wizard, I can probably get him to sign my fucking McFarlane figure.
Hmm?
That's not true.
Listen. As long as it's not someone named David Duke, we're good.
That's not true. That wouldn't happen. I would have to pay him for that. He's not as cool as Stan the Man. Stan the Man would just sign your shit. That's why he was the man.
All right, we ready?
As a whore in church.
Oh, why you gotta bring out my name?
Because you're not in church.
Yeah, because if I step foot in church, I fucking be lit up like a fucking gas can.
Yeah, you can bust. Oh, hey, wait. Have you gone live yet?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'll wait.
Why? What's up? I haven't record. I haven't hit record yet.
Okay, so I started watching Wicked the other night.
Oh, okay. Oh, hot take?
Well, first off, the racial undertones in the movie are fucking insane.
Yes. Yes.
Once you get past how the racial overtones in the movie and the undertones, okay, so I fell asleep during the end of it, but to be fair, I am up at 5 a.m. for work.
I mean, it is gonna be a two-parter.
Yeah. Not bad. The chick they got to play Alphaba, wonderful voice. Even with the green makeup, super pretty.
Yeah.
Fuck Ariana Grande.
Hey, John.
Hello.
Oh.
Okay, so
Hold on. Hold on. Right. John, speak real quick. Your volume might be a little high on your mic.
Heyo.
Yeah,
Heyo.
you're a little high on your mic.
Well, I don't know what to tell
No,
you.
I'm saying
I don't know how to.
take it away. A little bit.
All right, now better?
Yep, much.
way better. Okay, so let me catch you up. I was telling Ronnie that I started watching Wicked the other night.
Oh, the Ariana Grande thingy?
Fuck her, she sucks.
That bitch is on Ozempic.
The chick that plays Alphaba is where it's at. Fuck yeah, it's good so far.
I have it. I've yet to watch it. I have a copy of it here. I've yet to watch it yet.
What like I've got the book, the play adapted into story, like the Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got that, and it's really good. Because I'm a giant fucking nerd and used to read. The movie's not bad. I just don't like Ariana Grande in it. She can go suck a cock.
I mean, after she stopped taking Ozempic.
No, I when I think of Ariana Grande, I don't think of all the pop stuff. I think of all the Nickelodeon shit she used to do back in the day.
Dan Snyder.
I'm talking about, Victoria, Sam and Cat, the
Dan
iCarly stuff.
Snyder. All that shit has been tainted because
Yeah,
of
dude.
Dan Snyder.
She was even at the center of a controversy with Dan Snyder of her trying to what was it, milk a potato?
To put the terminology loosely, yes.
what I remember about her is when she was in some donut shop and she licked a fucking donut.
Again, Dan Snyder.
No, this was in real life. This wasn't on a set. This was in real life.
Doesn't matter. Dan Snyder turned people psychopaths. Look at Amanda Bynes.
It's true. Look what he did to poor Amanda Bynes.
Look what he did to Drake Bell.
No, there's if you really want to go down this rabbit hole, I know maybe you should save this topic for your dumpster fire stuff, and I could tell my 2 cents on that one. But you don't want me to go down that rabbit hole tonight. You really don't.
No, I
So
know
let's
about
move-
I know about the shit with Drake, but yeah, no. Fuck Dan Snyder.
In the butthole.
He's the reason Keenan and Kel fucking stopped being friends for a while. That's a tragedy. Yeah, like the shit that has come out to light now.
Fuck, the Drake Bell stuff was not Dan Snyder. It was his lines coach.
All right, if you really want me to go into it, I'll go into it real quick. There's one person that if anybody listening has watched the show Quiet on the Set, the Dark Side of Children's TV.
Yeah, that's what we're referencing. That's why we're saying Dan Snyder. Like, we all know it's...
Look, I'm not going to defend Dan Snyder, but I'm not going to persecute Dan Snyder either. Was he perverted? Yes. Did he do some fucked up shit? Absolutely. Is he innocent? Not in a long shot. There's one person that is absolutely fucking guilty, and I will call his ass out on the carpet every day because, unfortunately, he's not the star, but he's in one of my favorite movies, Return of the Living Dead. The actor, Brian Peck.
Yeah.
That fucking freak is the one that fucked around with Drake Bell.
Yeah, he was the coach that Drake's family had hired to help him run his lines and shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brian Peck is the piece of shit pedophile that did this shit to him. And basically, what I find ironic, and I just want to get a second opinion on this. I've already asked a few other people, and they have all shook their heads at that. So Brian Peck was accused of this, was sent to trial, was found guilty, did jail time, got out. And what's the first thing he fucking gets? He gets a job working at Disney, working on Zack and Cody.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a boner.
Well, he probably got that anyway, but that's beside the point. But no, he got a job on The Secret Life of Zack and Cody on Disney. Now, let me get my point out, and then you can say whatever you want, and I'll shut up. How is it that a corporation as huge as Disney, that is notorious for having subliminal little things in there? We all heard about the Little Mermaid, Dick Castle on the cover.
That wasn't alleged. That was legit.
The fact that the father in, I don't know if it was the Little Mermaid or something, had a boner on the pirate ship.
That was the priest.
Whatever. But the whole thing is, how is it that a company of that magnitude doesn't realize that they're hiring a guy that's a convicted and on the list pedophile? I'll shut up and I'll let you say what you got to say.
I think you answered your own question.
Yeah, we don't have to answer that. I mean, you already answered it. It's Hollyweird and it's a PDF file.
Because essentially he right now is blackballed from all Hollywood stuff.
As he should.
As he should be hung up by his go-betweens, but that's just my opinion.
We might want to come up with a different name for it.
Well, I'm just trying to be...
Hung by his red rocket?
I'm trying to be very politically correct, because if I really say what I really want to say...
Oh, fuck that shit. It's 2025. Trump's in office. You can say whatever you want. America.
Let me just put it to you this way. If if there was still corporal punishment back like in the 1800s and stuff when people were burned at the stake, you staple you pull a what was that horror movie we reviewed a long time, Ronnie? That for that someone suggested we watch, that he got everything nailed to his feet nailed to the chair, the arm nailed to the chair.
I forget the movie. I try to blank a lot of that. I think it was the one that was based off a reboot that. I mean, you could have just said about the one where he got his asshole ripped apart, because we had 3 of those.
No, this is the one where they were gonna pull his dick out and basically nail it to the chair.
Oh, they should have. That would have been awesome.
Well, with this fucking freak, that's what they should do, and put it on pay-per-view and have all the money go to his victims.
Oh, man, yeah, you know what? I mean, now that we're nailing dicks to chairs, I kind of want to be the dude with the hammer.
Too easy of a joke there.
Just say you're the one that opened it up, so go ahead, say what you want.
Come on, man.
Be the one with the hammer, or that has a hammer.
No, the one that swings the hammer.
Yeah, all you need to then just look at him with a dead look in the eye and just go, hammer!
Hammer! Flap!
No, that's where you gotta go. It's hammer time. If you're gonna do anything, you gotta say it's hammer time.
You gotta go tank.
I don't want to have to pay MC Hammer. I'm pretty sure he still lives in the left leg of his hammer pants.
And saying to women, can't touch this. Nah.
Or nobody's ever gonna touch this again. Boom.
I heard something else. It was something about 37
in a row. That was a slug, brother.
37 shots with a hammer.
Hammer! Whack.
37 chairs got nails through them today. And I'll tell you, that was a slow day.
I'm 36. I'm 30 in a row.
37.
I know, but she banged 36 before getting to Dante.
No shit.
He's 37.
I'm 37?
37. Oh my God. If you ever mansplain Kevin Smith to me again, I'm getting on a plane and kicking you in the nuts.
Yeah, but I guarantee you we have people that listen that don't know anything about Kevin Smith movies. You uncultured swines.
And they're fucking retarded.
Is there a breakdancer from Australia?
Named Ray Guy.
All I gotta say is the line is, every time I kiss you, I'm gonna taste 36 other guys.
Gross.
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
Why does it sound dirtier when you say it, John?
Because I'm in a bad headspace right now, and everything that's coming out of my mouth sounds a little more evil right now.
Dirty.
All right, we ready?
No, but let's do this.
In 3, 2, 1, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Betting Window on the Nerdport Network, where a hot dog could be a sandwich and 37 times someone's getting hammered. I'm your host, F. and Ronnie, and with me as always...
My fucking God.
The Zombie Master.
As well as...
Oh, we're getting this shit started early, motherfucker. A hot dog cannot be a fucking sandwich.
Yes, it can, asshole.
Let me put you this way. I was out last week due to personal reasons, and I remember as frickin' Frack over here, my co-host frickin' Frack over here, had a 30-minute conversation about sandwiches and hot dogs.
How the fuck is a hot dog a sandwich?
Because it's a piece of meat between 2 pieces of bread.
Technically, it's an open-faced sandwich if you really want to get
It's still a sandwich, damn it!
Not. It's a hot dog. It's its own food group.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call a hot dog a food group because you don't know what the fuck's in one of those things.
God forbid, it takes 55 of them to get Joey Chestnut full on 4th of July.
Yeah, well, that guy trains to do that shit. But if I fucking defy somebody to prove to me that a hot dog can be a sandwich because you're fucking wrong and your mom's a hoe.
Whoa! That makes as much sense. Go ahead, sorry,
hot dogs
John.
are full of one thing: lips and assholes.
Oh, so it's like people's opinions.
That's like this show.
Oh, but yes, welcome to the betting window, where we dive into the good, the bad, and what the fuck was that? The wide world of sports in sports betting. Oh,
And apparently.
What?
And random conversation.
Listen, it'll turn around into betting somehow. God forbid we talk about the hot dog eating contest on the show when it's 4th of July.
Oh, hey, you know what? Actually, here's how we turn it into betting. I had a fun discussion on the way back from the dispensary today.
Okay.
I rode out there with my cousin.
I'll take conversations. I never thought it would start in a sentence for 100, Alex.
Okay, hold on. No, you're going to be proud of me.
That's not saying much.
I know, right? No, you're going to be proud of me. This was betting talk. Okay, so like, it was right around that time of day, of course, out here where rush hour traffic, usually rush. Like, damn, there's no place to break through here. You might have to Frogger across the highway. I'm like, all right, are we taking bets on if I get hit or not? And they're both like, well, we're going to take the bet that you're going to get hit. And I'm like, all right, but here's the prop bet. What model car is going to hit me first?
All right, any takers.
Yeah, they said a Ford, and it just ruined my day.
Oh, God. Was it dying in front of you?
I mean, if I get hit by a Ford, I better die.
Yeah, that or it's found on road dead.
It's either that or it's going to hit me and break down.
Oh, God.
There you go. There's how you turn it into betting. Boom. Continue. Fuckface.
But yes, welcome to a show where, like I said, we dive into the good, the bad, and the what the fuck was that. On today's show, we'll talk some NBA. We'll talk a little hockey. I got a conversation piece about the NCAA tournaments and the WNBA, as well as, well, let's face it, our bets for the weekend and the week, and our baseball preview. And our predictions and so on and so forth. Oh, but since we were talking about food, should we dive into this first?
Oh.
How about you introduce the fourth member who's here? Been
I
waiting.
didn't even see him come in. Hello, Christian.
Bull fucking shit.
I didn't see you come in. And don't get offended. Don't get offended.
Bullshit. Hello, John.
Hello, sir.
Don't get offended by it.
Oh, well.
I saw him come in.
Thank you.
Yeah,
John.
well, I also have other shit up than just my Skype.
Well, turn off the Pornhub and turn off the whatever you're watching and pay attention.
No, there will never be a hi in the background.
Hey, yo, don't ever make that sound again. As long as make sure I'm not around.
That happened once. That happened once.
Yeah, that's what the joke is.
I almost forgot about that.
And you know what? Let me say my disclaimer now. Don't want to alienate people. I don't care.
Alienate my balls.
Hey, yo.
Oh, but all right. You know what? We'll set
Before we got started.
the precedent for the food talk for the Major League Baseball. Because
not this.
Because Christian, there's something about the South Side you need to know that we're gonna find fucking hilarious.
What?
All right.
The south side of Chicago?
Yep.
Why you telling me about it? I don't live here no more.
No, but you'll get a laugh out of it.
All right,
All
start it now. I'm curious.
All right, wait a minute. Whoa. I have one football question I want to ask of Christian, and then I'm going to stop. That's it. Since I haven't been here, I want to be able to ask it since the news has already been broken. Christian, you ready? You ready for this question?
Oh boy,
Yeah, let me
I know where he's going with this one.
Shut up.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You may not know where I'm going.
Oh,
you may or may not.
it's probably gonna be an unlimited story.
No, it's not. It's just a simple question. Now that the Jets have signed Justin Fields and the Giants have signed you say his name better than any of us.
His name is Russell. Last name Wilson.
And it's not gonna get booed because of his hot wife.
Let me get my question out now. Now that these two have been signed to respective teams, will this help or hurt the fan base, or will this help or hurt the team's chances going into the season upcoming?
Well, I think the Jets are better prepared for the future because Russell, to me, is, he's a bookmark for right now. He's not going to be there for the long term. He's only signed for a 1-year deal. The Giants could still take their quarterback, John,
Uh-huh.
at what, at 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when they pick
Yeah.
in the draft. So the purpose of drafting a quarterback that early, you have a chance to sit back and learn for a year. I remember Tom Brady said it best last year at the Fanatics Fest. The reason why so many of these young quarterbacks don't last that long at the NFL level is because they're thrown into the fire right away. Let them learn, let them develop on how to become a pro and go from there. And
Let him marinate, in other words.
bingo, and he's absolutely right. But the reason why I say the Jets are better for the long term is because Justin's younger. You see what I'm saying? And I think he comes into a better system now because he has chemistry with Garrett Wilson already. He played with Garrett Wilson at Ohio State. So, I think that chemistry right there is gonna be solid for him. And if you think about it, you look at what he went through in Chicago with the Bears and what he went through with the Steelers. They didn't really put a lot of pieces around him. Now he has a former college teammate that he can get the ball to. I think the Jets are in a prime position. Am I saying they'll win the division? No, not at all. But I will say this. I think the AFC East as a whole is going to be a little bit more intriguing to watch because you still have Buffalo. I mean, they're the cream of the crop in the division, and you have the reigning MVP and Josh Allen. Miami, there's some question marks. New England, they've revamped because they've added to defense. They just signed Stephon Diggs. They finally got Drake May, a number 1 wide receiver. And then you have the Jets. Aaron Glenn, new head coach, used to play for the Jets. It's a new regime now for Gang Green. But
The Jets have more upside.
They do. But I think the Giants right now are better prepared to win in this moment because of the veteran quarterback.
Well, let me ask you something, Christian. And this is what I can see. Okay, you have Russell for a year. You see how he does. You see if you need him he's getting $20 million this year. Cool. You don't go. What if they have here's how you do it. They're trying to get to the playoffs now. Russell's the reason they're going to try to do that. They're going to try to get there for that. If they don't, and say they get top 5 pick, what's stopping them next year from trading up 5 spots to try to get that number 1 pick, or, someone trying to hold out and get to the New York Giants like their family members have done in the past? And you use Jameis Winston as your Kurt Warner.
Okay,
Trade
Ronnie, here's a question for you. And, well, this is actually for you and for Christian. Is there a quarterback in college that's either a sophomore or junior?
Yeah, I just said his name without saying his name.
But are there others, or is he the only one that's of value?
No, there are, but knowing that family, Arch would pull this shit like Eli did and become a Giant.
Yeah, Arch is, to be honest with you, John, you know how we've seen in sports sometimes one guy comes in and they just kind of like change the entire trajectory of the team. You got close to winning the championship one year, and then that one piece comes in and he kind of puts you over the top. That's what Arch Manning, I think, can do for the Texas Longhorns.
He has to prove it this year. Yeah, he has to prove it this year. If he has an outstanding year, he will be the number 1 draft pick of next year's class. And if Russell is not Seattle Russell, the Giants will have a top 5 pick. If the Mannings pull a Manning, which we've seen it happen before, Arch could be a Giant, and it could just be and you have someone like Jameis Winston, who's on a 2-year deal that can be the bridge to March.
The bridge. Yeah. But I think Russ gets a little too much flack. You get what I mean by that?
Oh, I agree.
I'll explain. He wasn't necessarily in the best situation in Denver. Okay, I mean, Nathaniel Hackett was an absolutely terrible coach. Then he just couldn't seem to get on the same page with Sean Payton. But Russell Wilson, my bad. Russ threw 26 touchdown passes that final year in Denver. Last year, he comes into Pittsburgh, and despite the inconsistent play calling from the Steelers' offensive coordinator, Russ made throws that Justin Fields couldn't make. And Ronnie, what did I tell you on an episode of Monday Evening Quarterback? And I'm gonna repeat it verbatim. Russell Wilson, to me, benefits greatly from a running game. And what I mean by that is, and I'm saying this to you too, John. What I mean by that is, when he keeps handing the ball off, what does that force the defense to do? It forces them to come in more and crowd the line of scrimmage, and then Russ can use that play action, and he's able to bomb the ball down the field. Look, the guy has shown you he still has a little bit of football left in the tank, because he made some unbelievable passes last year. And
that
I think
moon
the best
ball.
pass, bingo. And I think the best pass I saw him make, I'm gonna send it to all of you guys. I want you all to see it. It came in the game last season. The Steelers were playing the Washington Commanders. I'm gonna look for it as describing the play. And Washington sent an all-out blitz up the middle, right? And Russ saw the pressure coming. I mean, he's been in the league long enough, so he's seen all the pressures imaginable, and Russ just heaved it up.
Yeah. Russ can get that ball downfield. Now, where Jameis is better though is his legs.
Russ can still move, but I will say this: Russell Wilson now is more. I can tell he's studying a lot of Drew Brees, and what I mean by that is he's staying in the pocket a lot more. All right, what convo should I send this play to?
Send it to my Facebook. I'll check it later.
All right. Yeah, but Russ still has Russell Wilson and throwing that moon ball like you described, Ronnie. You know what it reminds me of?
Like
a jump shooter in
yeah.
basketball. Even as they get older, they don't lose that. They don't lose that touch.
No, you're absolutely right. But, all right. So, you ready for this? So, me and Ryan had a conversation on Saturday.
Yeah.
And Major League Baseball has dropped the new food items for this upcoming year. Yankees, Mets, they all have some newer ones. The Yankees have brought back the helmets. Like they used to, like the ice cream in a helmet, which now you can get a hot fudge sundae in a helmet. And the $24 tiramisu. I wish I was kidding that it was $24, but it is. Why would anyone pay $24 for a fucking tiramisu in a helmet? Anyone want to answer that one?
Mm-hmm.
Christian, you're going to laugh at this one. The White Sox have introduced the Celebration Cake Shake.
Oh, my God.
Ryan answered one question about that. Ryan, you want to say it?
Dude, I don't remember.
What the fuck are they celebrating?
Yeah.
Is he wrong?
It's the 125th season. That's what they're celebrating. That's it.
Okay. What are they celebrating?
Just being around. You've been around for 125 years and have won what? 3 World Series?
All right. Let me see what this actually looks like. I'm on Twitter right now.
Yeah, it's MLB. It's at MLB's.
Celebration cake shake. Let me see.
Christian, just say what it is. Diabetes in a glass.
I mean.
Oh, my bowels. Oh, sweet Jesus. You want to know something crazy?
This will sell, though. This will sell.
To who? No one goes to the games, Ronald.
Really? Using my legal name? Fuck you.
Thank you. Here, I'm going to send you guys something to the Facebook chat. This is from 2018. Yes, I still have the picture. There's a burger place in Illinois called Crusades, right? It's like a build-your-own burger type of joint. And they were known for shakes like this. Look at this one that I had. And I was peer pressured to get it. Never again. Never again. I just sent it.
I've seen something similar to that. Is that a Pop-Tart sticking out the top?
Unfortunately. Ugh. And a Rice Krispie treat.
Well, have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart?
I want my black ass look like eating Pop-Tarts.
I'm just gonna say one thing and end this conversation there's one place I could bring up. Heart Attack Grill. Let's move on.
So, all right. So other ones that they're doing, you're getting a What's Up corn dog from Seattle, which is just blue Taki, or the Taki nachos and honey and nacho cheese. Philly's doing a s'mores quesadilla.
That sounds fire.
Ugh.
So Pittsburgh and San Francisco are doing the popcorn bats. You know the old Nerf Mark McGuire slugger bats, the really big freaking barrel bats? It's one of those that they fill with popcorn. Rockies are doing dessert nachos because they have nothing better to do. Oh, the Mets have one now, John.
Go ahead.
The Fiesta Burger. It's only going to be there in April and May. It is a taco spice burger with chipotle cremant, Mexican cheese blend, and spicy guacamole.
My God, man, you fucking Mets fans turn everything into a sandwich, don't you?
Yeah, because Ryan, they don't have shit else to celebrate. No offense, you guys.
Yo, y'all fucking taco sandwiches, fucking hot dog sandwiches. What's next? Sandwiches.
And then like other ones. The Cubbies have a oh god, roast beef sandwich with
Dude, let me say this. Between where the Cubs play and where the White Sox play, I always found myself saying the food was better where the Sox play because the food at Wrigley was absolute crap.
Well, I mean, it's better where the Sox play because you can actually get the food. Because, like you said, no one shows up. And that silence says it all.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right. And that's really it when it comes to those. Those were the ones that I kind of saw. Other ones, they're doing chicken parm sandwiches in a place where someone needs Tommy John surgery. Not New York, Arizona. I'll get to that story in a little bit.
Oh, I thought you were going under the
No.
bus.
I was going to another jackass that tried to fucking hold out for money. Now he needs Tommy John surgery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nice job, Montgomery. Wait, what?
Oh, it was Jordan?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Idiot.
Yeah, they just announced it today. He freaking, his last start before the season needs Tommy John.
And you're done for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, so that means Garrett's probably not coming back until maybe the
Garrett,
beginning of next year.
yeah, I was going to say, Garrett will be back by mid-spring training, probably.
Oh, this is going to be a long year.
All right. So, quick notes, real quick, and then we'll get into our baseball stuff. NBA, they are deciding to. So, the league has been in talks to make a possible European league. Run through the NBA. Your opinion, how do you think that'll do?
Yo, can I say it?
Yeah, you can. This one, no one's gonna be offended if you say that.
No, it's okay because one in every 1,000 people, someone's alienated.
No, because this is a brand new thing. This is a brand new thing.
I don't care.
I'm not saying that you would care. I'm asking, do you think this would be a success, though?
Yeah, because let's face it, the NBA now is an international game, right? Like,
Yeah.
look, the last 5 or 6 MVP winners have all been international guys. Giannis won it twice. Joel Embiid, Joel. I mean, Joker has won it. Jokic has won it, 3 times in the last 4 years? And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander more than likely is going to win it this year.
He's a runaway this year. It's kind of...
yeah.
Now, here's another question, though. And this is the other thing. And, Brian, I want your opinion on this, too. Would this be good for the NBA with the college game?
I think if they're going to invest in an entire new league, they need to invest in promotion behind the WNBA because those chicks fucking earned it.
We'll get to the WNBA and the women's NCAA because I do want to talk about that because there is an issue with that we need to talk about.
That is my opinion. If they have the money to start another league in another country, then they have the money to invest in the fucking WNBA.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That league could be just as big with the proper type of promotion behind it, but don't have any type of promotional budget.
I wouldn't even say that. I don't. You have to alter it because it's not the same game. In my opinion.
You're losing more dunks. Ooh.
You're losing a lot more than just that. You're losing a lot more offense in the game now when it comes to the WNBA and NCAA. Like with this European League, it could be fine, and I wonder though if that would deter people from if you would ever get somebody like Joker or another oh god damn it, what's his name? The kid from San Antonio that's been out with blood clots.
Wemby.
Wemby to then stay home and play in that version of the Euro NBA instead of coming to the States and playing in the NBA, where then you're going to start seeing a lot of college kids taking back over, or high schoolers taking back over, or to use the European League as your double A G League, where the G or triple A, where your double A is the G League. Because remember how remember when the NFL tried to have a European League, and how well that went.
Nope.
It went as well as the original XFL.
The only thing that was good about it was the fact that we had a couple punters that came back over to the NBA or the NFL.
He hates me.
Yeah, well, he's the only one that came from the XFL.
I know.
But I'm like, Would it be successful? Yeah, because the NBA is gonna pump money into that. It's not. It might not be big over in the States, but over in Europe, it's gonna be big. It also depends on where you're gonna put it, because they want to do 8 to 10. Okay, planning the league reportedly consists of 8 to 10 franchises to have a semi-open format, allowing qualification slots to open up for 4 teams. The EuroLeague, such as Real Madrid, Olympic. Okay, so that might be interesting. You're never going to have them fly over to Europe to do this, but could we see almost how they do in Championship League, to where you can get promoted to the NBA or demoted to the EuroLeague?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's one of those things where we just gotta wait.
Yeah.
To see.
Because if you can do that, that makes the games, like the teams that tank, they could be part of demotion, gives you more access to the game. Like, it actually will drive these teams to play harder. But who knows? Yeah, like you said, we got to wait to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, I don't know of how many people understand how that works for soccer, because that is a little confusing when it comes to the championship leagues and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that might not be terrible. All right. Quick NHL news. This is not that big of a deal, but it's just something that's got to be noted. Ovechkin.
I don't care.
You don't. I'm saying this just to get this out there. Ovechkin 6 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky.
Okay, I care about that, but other than that, I don't care.
That's the only hockey news that's really out there right now, because we're 10 games away from the playoffs.
Blues won last night. We're still in the hunt.
The Blues are still in the hunt. Really, like I said, we're 10 games out from the playoffs. And then playoff hockey begins, and that's when people actually give a shit about hockey. It's kind of like soccer in the World Cup. No one gives a shit until it actually gets on television. Not fully wrong about that.
No, I've watched a lot of hockey this year, though.
Yeah, well, St. Louis is a hotbed, just like New York and New Jersey are for...
I mean, even Chicago is.
Chicago. Oh, I mean, the Blackhawks.
Actually, you know what? I'm so glad you brought that up, because a lot of those Blackhawks fans became Hawks fans when they were winning the Stanley Cups, right?
When fucking Charlie Dagger was being played in the fucking bars and shit like that?
Yeah, because like when they were struggling, I never saw people that I knew personally wearing any type of Blackhawks memorabilia, anything like. Oh damn, I'm old. Anyway, yeah, like I never saw them down with the team when they were bad, and then you just see all these people saying they're Blackhawks fans. I'm like, dude, I've never seen you support any Chicago sports team, or I've never seen you support the Blackhawks like you do all the other teams that play in Chicago. So, yeah, the verdict is still out on them.
Right. Well, they're fair weather hockey fans like that. And you're right. It is one of those things where you kind of look at it and be like, what the hell? Like, I've seen a lot of people that are like that when the Rangers were good last year. Ryan probably saw it when the Blues were trying to go for the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah, everybody was a Blues fan whenever they were in the hunt.
To them, they're fair weather. It's like with Christian. How many times have you seen that with the Knicks in basketball?
What do you mean?
Like, oh, I'm not fuck the Knicks. The Knicks are winning. I'm a Knicks fan.
Oh yeah.
I'll give you another team like St. John's.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, they start winning. Yeah, I'm a Johnny's fan. Really? Don't really see you ever going to watch them on television, go out of your way to watch them. But It's the fair weather bullshit. Speaking of basketball, so me and Ryan have been having this discussion for about 2 weeks. Never on air, but we've been just talking back and forth, and I want everyone's opinion on this.
I don't care.
Yes, you do. Shut up.
This one you might. So, in
This motherfucker. Ooh. 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 God, he lucky I live by my first name. Because 10 years ago, I'd have shot him.
So we've been talking about the WNBA, and this kind of bleeds over to the NCAA tournament for the women. How the game has kind of been stagnant and never really has gotten popular. It started getting popular with Caitlin Clark coming through. But besides that, it's never really been like with the Diana Taurasi's and stuff like that. There's one person that's come in, and then it's been stagnant. And now with Juju tearing her ACL and pretty much being done for 2 years now, she's done for this season as well as next year. There's not a lot of star power coming towards the WNBA. Like Paige Beckers is the only one that's out of UConn, but she's probably staying in college because she can make more money. How, besides promotion, because clear as day, the WNBA does not get any promotion from the NBA.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can make the game more entertaining? Because I think a lot of people have an issue with, say,
unicycles and stilts.
I'm gonna say the one thing that people have been saying that no one wants to hear. Maybe you gotta lower the net. Maybe you gotta lower the net to where you're not getting Angel Reese getting 24 boards and she's gotten she got 20 offensive rebounds.
Or maybe you should box her fine ass out.
Listen, she knows how to get her own rebound. Never said she doesn't know how to get her own shot. But when people are like, she's the greatest rebounder in WNBA history, that's not saying much, but
I know something she could rebound.
Hey, yo. But would the game be better with because everyone's like joking around, have them wear shorter shirts. Like, stop it. Seriously, just stop it. That you need to stop. With how they look. Like, no, stop that. Like, fix the game where the game doesn't turn sexual.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's all going to come down to promotion. With better promotion for the sport, they can build their own stars.
But they
have. Just like they do in the NBA. And then, from there, I don't know. I'm really high right now, and I forgot where I was going with that.
But here's the thing: when it comes to a sport like that,
it's gonna come back to me. Just keep going.
There's no building your own star coming out of just. You can't build yourself in the NBA or WNBA. There's good hands in the NBA, but a lot of people get their stars from college.
Well,
so like Caitlin,
coaches, you get better games, more competitive games. Boom, promotion, one circle, 6 degrees of fucking Kevin Bacon with that shit. What's that?
Hold on, say it again.
Okay, promotion.
Yeah.
Put money into the league, allow them to be able to build their own stars. Because whenever they're able to build their own stars and bring in more crowds, they're going to bring in better coaches, which is going to lead to more competitive games. And yes, Kevin Bacon is in there in the crowd, third row.
But the thing is, though, is the coaches coming in, you're not stealing somebody from the college ranks to go to the WNBA. Because guys like Gino out of UConn are making more money in college than the WNBA.
Man, fuck Gino.
Listen, you know as well as I do, he's one of the best coaches coming out of in the fucking college ranks.
Oh, definitely, but still,
Fuck him, yeah, because of UConn being dominant. But, like, he's not going to leave UConn to go to the Spark, the LA Spark.
Nah, I don't see that.
But you're not going to get... Go ahead.
To be honest with you, if I did see him leaving for a WNBA job, you know where he would go?
Probably Connecticut.
He'd go one of two places. Connecticut or the Liberty.
Yeah, New York. I also think the fact that there's no... Here's my opinion when it comes to all this. You want to drive it more? There are only I want to say there's 14, there's 16 teams now. They just added 4 more.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that has an NBA team should have a WNBA team. And I'm sorry, the whole Angel Reese thing saying, oh, we're going to sit out if we don't get paid like the men. Really? Okay, no offense, Angel Reese. Shut up. You get paid fucking $4 million from McDonald's to promote your fucking food that you're not eating. Just like really, because, like really, LeBron drinks Sprite. Okay.
Yeah, and there's some guys that have a crush on Angel Reese, so eating her meal is like the closest thing they'll get to eating her.
Hey, yo!
Am I wrong?
Sadly,
technically,
no.
Just saying.
What'd you say, Roddy?
Technically, you are correct, sir.
Thank you. What you saying, hey, yo, for? I said it about a woman.
No, just the way you said it. Be the closest thing that anyone be able to eat her.
Yeah.
Okay, look. Y'all have known me long enough. When have I ever given a damn?
All I know is that gives a new definition to a boxed lunch.
Hey now!
Hey, man. Look, that is the best thing I have ever heard John Danzo say.
But no, like, it's... The game also does not help the fact that you're playing this sport for 3 months in dead of summer when baseball's king. But there's no other time you can play that because you're not going to play it in the fall and get drowned out by the NFL or college football, matter of fact. And you're not going to play it during the winter when college basketball and the NBA are starting, and same with hockey.
Right.
You're kind of screwed with doing it in the summer.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think the game, there needs to be better defense and higher scoring. No one wants to watch, especially in the WNBA, or not WNBA, NCAA. I'm sorry, when UConn is a 2 seed and they're a 47-point favorite against Arkansas State, and they win.
Suck dick.
And they do. Most of them, allegedly. God damn it, we don't need to just find them on how they enjoy their box lunch.
Gross. With a hot dog sandwich.
Or a taco. When UConn wins 112, or it was like 103 to 37, that's not an entertaining game. That was the first round of the NCAA tournament for them. Like, Duke played Lehigh, 86-25. 25 fucking points from Lehigh. Fucking, that's sad. Like, yeah, here we go. 103-34, not 37. Sorry, I got a little carried away with Arkansas State. 34.
Yeah, you better fucking correct yourself.
Yeah, they scored worse than I promoted.
How dare you promote incorrectly?
But how can you fix the game to make these games a little bit closer?
I know how.
How?
You can't.
Give both teams...
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not knocking the WNBA, but it's not properly marketed. Think about it.
But how can you? That's the other problem. Is how can you properly market it?
Do what you do with the NBA. You know, have a game Tuesdays on NBA TV. Have a doubleheader on Thursdays and maybe Friday. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking.
Well, here's the thing. So this year, well, you know what? We'll see if that works. Because this year, 36 of the 56 games are on ESPN. And we'll see how it does. It has been being promoted by ESPN and their websites and all that. They're getting more than half their games. Granted, it's 60% of the Fever's games with Caitlin Clark. But what are you going to do? Like, she is the cash cow there.
She's the cash cow. Put her out front and let her bring money into the league.
I mean, she is filling stadiums, so that is legit. Like, there's nothing about that that's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it's just her, is that a good thing? Because when she's not playing there, it's empty arenas. Or it's a quarter full arenas.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've had Caitlin Clark in Iowa selling out every Iowa stadium. Every Iowa game where it was just...
Yeah, and even when she was on the road.
Yeah. And she's doing the same thing in WNBA. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll tell you a girl that's going to be just as popular when she comes in, and that's going to be, not this year, but next year, is going to be Paige Becker. The girl plays the game like Diana Taurasi.
Yeah, I think Juju is a little bit better than her.
Juju's not going in. She's got 3 years before she goes.
Oh, okay.
Because she tore her ACL, so she's going to be out the rest of this year for the tournament, and then probably next year too.
Oh, they're keeping her out again next year?
Well, she's got to heal, so she won't be. She might not be back until, if latest, like March.
Yeah.
So why have her waste another year of eligibility if there's no reason for it?
Mm-hmm.
So they might just keep her. And I agree. Juju is one of those stars that could help the WNBA full front. Because she's insane.
Frontal.
I said full front, not full frontal. Get your mind out of the gutter. And take
Hey,
another...
yo.
Yeah. Listen.
I'm gonna need y'all to listen. Y'all got a homework assignment for me after that, because there's been too many little hormonal comments on this damn show so far tonight. When y'all get off this show, I'm gonna need y'all to all bust one.
Why do I have a feeling we're gonna see a lingerie basketball league before, like, in the next 10 years?
There's a reason why I have a thing of lotion on my dresser in my room.
Yeah, and that's going to be more popular than the WNBA.
For games like that.
While Ghostbusters is playing in the background.
Don't disrespect me like that.
Bustin'
Oh.
makes me feel good.
Hey,
And I came back for this.
No, you came back for the.
I could have stayed out another week.
Ah, we got baseball coming up. Shut up.
don't tell him shut up.
Shut up.
Shit.
Thank you, Christian.
Oh, but all right.
See, John, I sometimes think he tends to forget I live back out here on the East Coast. So, you know, his
There's a reason we also call our place down here. The reason people call this place down here Alabama.
Hold on, I got this. I'm out in the Midwest, away from all you motherfuckers. Shut up.
Okay. Okay.
I love him.
All right. So before we get into our previews, let's run through this real quick. Sweet 16 is officially upon us. Run through this. Our brackets are pretty much fucked.
Not mine. I still have my Final Four.
So I think do I still have mine?
I don't.
Ronnie, you still see Duke going to the Final Four?
No, I had Oregon.
So you think Duke can lose?
Oh, Duke can. If they do, I can see that. Where is it? Duke would be. No, I mean the only other team that I could see Duke losing to right now is BYU. Because BYU can actually play defense.
So can Alabama.
Yeah, not always. Bama likes to run.
So you don't think Arizona has a chance tomorrow?
They have a chance. I mean, shit, they all have chances. We're in the top. We're in the Sweet 16, but also too, I wonder how much of jet lag is going to take effect for Arizona going to Jersey.
True, that's a good point.
I think the top team that is in trouble will not be this round, but it's going to be Auburn.
Houston. I say Houston.
Houston to who? To Kentucky?
No, Purdue. Because you see where that game is?
It's in Indiana.
That's a home game.
It's in Luke Oil.
Yeah, Lucas Oil.
I think Michigan State can take out Alabama. Take out Auburn.
I do too. I actually had Michigan State in the Final Four.
Yeah, so do I. My what's it called? Championship game is still intact. Florida, Houston.
Mine is too. That's who I have as well.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll run through this real quick. Just throw it out there. No worry about the spread because fuck the spread for the WNBA for the NCAA because that's usually out the fucking window. But we got BYU versus Alabama. Bama's favored. I think Bama is gonna take care of business though. I think BYU is good on defense, but I think Bama's too much of a running gun team to hit for BYU to handle.
I agree.
Right?
What?
BYU, Alabama.
Who?
John, flip a coin. What do you got? What do you like?
I think his microphone's muted. He's
still
taking
on mute?
Bama.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it's whatever. Maryland, Florida. Florida.
Florida.
This is a hard game because they're both on the fucking West Coast. Both two East Coast teams going to Cali. Yeah, Florida. Ryan, flip a coin. Who are you taking?
Florida.
Yeah. Duke, Arizona. Give me Duke.
No comment.
Right.
What?
Duke, Arizona.
Duke.
Arkansas, Texas Tech. Give me the Cinderella team right now. Give me Arkansas.
Sure, Kansas.
Christian?
Give me Arkansas.
Okay. Old Miss, Michigan State. Give me Izzo.
Party.
Right?
What?
Ole Miss, Sparty.
Give me Ole Miss.
Okay. Kentucky, Tennessee. Give me the Blues. Give me UK. Give me Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Christian?
Give me Kentucky.
Okay. Michigan, Auburn. That's a home
Auburn.
game. It's in Georgia.
Auburn.
Yep. And then Houston, Purdue. I think first off, the spread for this one, fuck the spread. Give me Purdue money line, because 8.5 in a football stadium is never a good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you say, Ryan? I heard you scream something.
I screamed, son of a bitch.
Okay, so you're taking Purdue.
Yeah.
Okay. I love how Indy has cheaper games to get in. If you wanted to go to State Farm Arena, it's $400 to get in. If you want to go to Lucas, it's $140. It's actually $95 in the Chase Center.
I've been to what's it called? I've been to Lucas Oil. It's actually a pretty nice stadium.
There you go. Right. All right. Let's get into our Major League Baseball preview. And
Sure.
oh boy, is this gonna be a interesting season for us, because the injuries are aplenty. Between Garrett Cole being out for the year, the Mets having issues with their fucking injuries, they just put Blackburn on the IL. The bullpen's a sham. It's going to be an interesting year for the East Coast. But, at the same time, can't forget that the Diamondbacks are in a lot of deep shit, because Montgomery just got put on the IL for the season, being out for the season with Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, that's tough.
Granted, technically the season's already started, because, the Cubs are 0-2 and the Dodgers are 2-0. Because, we have to go to Tokyo. But what are your guys' before we get into our picks for the division, what are your guys' expectations for your teams?
Let Ryan go first.
I can't even say I expect the wild card this year, because we're going through a rebuild and it's not going well. I'll be happy with 81 wins.
So you see them going below 500?
Unfortunately. Like, I've been watching the preseason stuff, and it's real
at 500. Sorry.
I've been watching the preseason stuff, and it's real up and down. That scares me going into the regular season, especially knowing about all the holes that we fucking have in our offense.
Okay. Christian?
um, I don't know. I honestly I don't. I'm trying my hardest to be optimistic, but it's kind of tough because I mean, our best pitcher is out for the year. Yeah, a particular bat, and I think I don't even have to say his name. He may not even play this year, but the way I look at it, it could be a little bit of a blessing in disguise for us in a way because now you can kind of see what you have in your farm system. Um, do I think we're still good enough to win a division? Yeah. Do I see it happening? No, and I'm just being realistic. I can see this Yankee team winning 90 games. I mean, they have the offense to win them games, but you know the pitching is gonna hold up, and can the pitching hold up? I mean, I know after Garrett went down, that kind of made the Max Fried signing look a little bit better. You know, but it's tough to replace a guy like a Garrett Cole. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I'm gonna just say it. I want Bauer. I don't give a damn.
I think I'm surprised Bauer hasn't gotten anyone's attention.
Because people probably don't want the distraction.
I think we're so far removed from that distraction, and let's face it, what he's been doing in Mexico has been great, but we don't know what he can do in the majors. I would almost, like I said, you give the man a shot, and if he doesn't have it, you cut him. But then that puts every question away. If he can pitch, great. You just got another guy that was a Cy Young winner on your roster. If he doesn't, you wasted what? $750,000, which is fucking chump change.
Yeah, and look, I'll say this. I know it's not going to be Judge and Soto because to me, they were the best tandem in baseball. But Judge and Bellinger could be pretty good, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But again, you already see. I think this is with any team, but especially us. It's going to be health.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be the thing for everybody.
Right.
John, what do you think?
All right, I just pulled up the opening day roster for the Mets.
Yeah.
And I'm going to point out several players that are making this opening day roster that are extreme question marks that I'm going into the season with a queasy feeling on. And starting off with the outfielders, we have Soto, Nimmo, Siri, Tyrone Taylor, Starling Marte, Jesse Winker. Out of those groups, Starling Marte is my weak spot. I'll explain why. He hasn't been healthy the last 2 years. He's very injury prone. He lost a spark when he got hurt a couple years ago. He's a big question mark. Then obviously the starting rotation: Clay Holmes, Tyler McGill, Giffen Canning, David Peterson, Kodai Senga. Obviously Sean Manaea being out. What's his name? Montas is out.
Yep.
So my question mark for who's the ace, there is no ace of this staff. And everybody says Kodai Senga, no, because you don't know what you're going to get the hell out of him. The biggest star on this rotation right now, my star, if I were to put an ace label on somebody, is David Peterson, because of how he pitched last year. Then your catchers, we got Luis Torrens and Hayden Senger. Hayden Senger was bagging groceries a year ago. Now he made a major league roster. I mean, he literally wasn't bagging groceries, but he wasn't in the league last year. And yet he makes the opening day roster. Because Alvarez, what a surprise, is hurt again. It seems to be that is the ever popular thing with him. The last 3 spring trainings, he's been hurt going into the season. Not shocked. Then we got our infielders of Alonso, Beatty, Lindor, Vientos, and Luis Daniel Acuna. There's two things now.
Is that official?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Acuna
Yes,
made it. I wasn't sure they were still
because
still looking for a player. They didn't really make a decision when I last checked.
Well, this is from the Mets page. I got this thing. It's the official roster. Now, obviously, you know what you're going to get, or you don't know what you're going to get out of Alonso. Lindor, just hope he starts off hot, not cold, like he always does. Vientos, let's see if this isn't a sophomore jinx with him. Acuna, he's an outstanding fielder, and he's got some upside. The biggest question mark, and this is the guy that I like, and I've said stuff about, Beatty killed the ball in spring training. I'm going to steal a line from Major League. Yeah, he hit a home run off a guy who's going to be bagging groceries in a week. Let's see how this kid performs in the. He killed it in spring training. If he stays hot, Jeff McNeil might become expendable, and you might trade him when he comes back because you can get something for him. And then, now this is the thing that scares me the most. And Ronnie, you can disagree with me all you want. The bullpen, our bullpen, I think, is a train wreck waiting to happen. Because of some of the guys on this team, that made this roster, I'm going to pull out the guys that I think are going to be train wrecks. Danny Young, you didn't get much out of him last year. Husakan Brazaban, he couldn't stay. He was in they got him from the Marlins. He was up in the major leagues for about a week and a half, and he spent the rest of the year in Syracuse. Do the math on that one. AJ Minter's coming off of health issues. Jose Buto coming off of arm issues. Edwin Diaz wasn't exactly super stellar during the spring. The only two guys that in this bullpen, actually three, that surprised me this offseason or this spring was Ryan Stanek, Reed Garrett, and Max Kranick. Those are my all-stars for this bullpen. The Mets right now, and everybody in the world knows how diehard of a Mets fan I am. Last year was a glorious thing watching them go where they went towards the end of the season with the miracle that they did. I don't know what to expect out of them. I think they're an 85-win team. I think they're possibly a wild card team, but they're not winning the division. Not with Atlanta, and not with Philadelphia. But that's the only teams that are going to contend because Washington ain't going to do shit. Marlins are basically a minor league team with just a major league name, and that's it. But that's, I basically went over the entire 25-man roster. I mean, Soto, you know what you're going to get out of him. You know what you may or may not get out of him. And Christian, you know him better than any of us. What should I expect from him if I'm a Mets fan? What should I expect of Juan Soto starting the season?
I mean, it'll take him a while to find his niche. Once he gets comfortable, you're going to be happy with him. I mean, look,
I have no type of ill will or animosity toward him because, what did it for me was what he did in Game 5. He sent us to the World Series, and I'll be forever grateful for him. I think most Yankee fans would, but he made a decision. Let's just move on from it. I wish him the best. I truthfully do. Like, people have trolled me about losing him, and I'm like, look, teams lose players like that all the time. He did what he felt was best for him, and I look forward to seeing him play.
Ronnie, what about you?
I look at it the same way I looked at it last year. This team, no matter how many people want to say it, got better with the addition of Soto.
I agree with you, but this is the big but in the room. Soto, as good as he is, and Christian, like I said, I'll refer to you on this again. Soto's good, but could Soto carry a team on his back?
Right. That's
That's the
the million
million-dollar
question.
question right
Yep.
there.
I couldn't agree with you anymore.
Who
And
said?
look,
Hold on. Who said he didn't with how he acted with the Yankees?
Ronnie,
Just because he didn't win games didn't mean he didn't lead the team to wins. Because of him being there, led Judge to win the MVP.
all right, here's the big wrinkle, and this is the biggest wrinkle that, and Christian, you'll agree with me on this. I think you will. Ryan, I can't speak for you, but I think Christian will agree with me on this one. The fact of the matter is, when Soto played with the Yankees last year, he wasn't making the money he's making this year. Right now, the Mets essentially are paying close to, with all incentives and stuff, are paying well over, close, not exactly at, but close to $900 million for this guy. Now, Met fans are like Yankee fans in this regard. I remember when Tino Martinez came over to the Yankees from Seattle, he replaced a beloved figure at first base in Donnie Baseball.
Yeah.
And when Tino first started this season, he was getting paid pretty decent money at the time, from what I remember. And what happened that first month and a half of the season? He got booed out of the place because he wasn't performing. Now, if you're a Met fan, and we basically paid out the ass for Juan Soto. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I never wanted to fucker here. I don't think he's that good of a player. I think he's a. Let me get my point across.
I haven't even finished my statement, but I'll say it right now. You out your mind.
I'll say this. I don't think he's a team guy. I think he's a Juan Soto guy. Because I look at it the way, this is my opinion and my opinion only, and I'll stand by it. Is he a good baseball player? Yes. Is he a dominating force? Will he put butts in seats? Yes, he will. But Juan Soto cares about one person, Juan Soto. I don't think Juan Soto cares about the team. I look at it this way, and Christian, you'll remember this. After the Yankees lost the World Series last year, every other player that the media interviewed had their Yankee hats on the right way. When Soto was interviewed, he turned that hat right the fuck around and talked about himself. Didn't talk about the team, talked about himself. Now, in my opinion, that's a guy. Look, do I hope he hits home runs for us? Yes. He's on my team. I will root for him. Doesn't mean I have to like the guy. I will root for him because he's on my team, and I'm a lover of my team, and I will stick by them. But I didn't want him here. And how many times have I said that on this show? I didn't want him here.
But the thing is with Soto is that he is a difference maker for completely different reasons. Listen, I'll say this. You brought up Tino. Who is Juan Soto replacing?
Juan Soto basically he's not replacing anybody.
Exactly.
I'll agree with you on that, but he may not be replacing anybody, but essentially what he's doing is, by getting the contract he got, Met fans are going to expect, not in a month and a half to 2 months down the road, they're going to expect immediate dividends. They're going to want him to hit a home run at least once every other game.
They
are going to want more out of Ron. They're going to want more out of him because of what we paid for him.
John, you're saying the exact same. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful on this one. You're saying the exact same story as last year.
Look, also, I'm just speaking from the heart.
I understand that, but you're literally repeating the exact same thing you said last year where you had no faith, which I get. I understand that because it was the land of misfit toys that the Mets had, especially in the pitching. I'm sorry. I look at this lineup, and when it comes to the top 5, good luck for the first 2 innings, because that is fucking death row. With Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Vientos, and Winker. That right there is terrifying.
Look, I agree with you. Look, that could be that if everything goes to plan, I'll be happy for that. But right now, my biggest fear is what I said before. The starting rotation is in disarray, and I don't have a lot of faith in the bullpen. I'm sorry.
Okay, last year, though, the rotation was in shambles.
Yeah, but last year we had Manaea the whole year.
You didn't. Manaea was unknown. Going into the season, no one knew what Manaea was going to be. And then he turned into no pun intended, he turned into the tribal chief.
But then here's the thing. It's like right now, I'm sorry, Griffin Canning and Christian, now tell me this. You've seen Clay Holmes pitch as a closer. The spring, he pitched pretty decently during the spring as a starter. Mm-hmm. And Christian, I want you to be honest with me, and don't sugarcoat it. How long before Clay Holmes burns out? Let me rephrase that. Does he succeed or does he burn out?
He'll burn out. I don't trust him.
But here's the thing. Starting pitching nowadays, it doesn't mean what it used to. All you need is to get to 5 innings, and the bullpen takes over.
And the bullpen handles the rest.
It's not like back in the day where you had guys like DeGrom or even like Maddox back there going 7 1/3 or 8 innings or getting into the 8th. No, your starting pitcher only needs to get you to 5 innings, 5 1/3 to consider you getting the win. Listen, Clay Holmes can get 5 1/3. Kodai Senga can get you to fucking 7 if you need to. But now the big question is can the bullpen stay healthy? But if you're telling me that when Montas comes back and you can bring someone up from the minor leagues up and you can bring McGill and put him back in the bullpen, McGill right there can give you 2 innings to where you can hand it off to a Diaz. I'm sorry. I'm surprised no team has ever not tried to carry 8 starters and having 2 guys going 3 innings a day in the bullpen.
Right now, and it's like I said when I brought up the name, there's only Max Kranick. I saw pitch a lot this spring. The guy surprised me. Basically, we got him off the scrap heap.
Sounds like a lot of shit that's happened with the Mets.
AJ Minter, he's coming off an injury-plagued season. I don't know what you're going to get out of him. There's 2 guys on this team. There's 2 guys in this bullpen I don't have faith in. Danny Young and that Brazoban guy. Because I've seen both of them pitch last year in the majors. And neither one of them impressed me to the point where I have faith in when they get the ball. Brazoban, when he was up last year, before he got sent down to Syracuse, was he threw the ball between 90 and 92, but dead center over the plate. Man, people were feasting off of it. They were feasting off of him. They were hitting rockets off of him. And he didn't last. We got him from the Marlins for nothing. So basically, I mean, we didn't have to give up much of anything to get him. But I don't have any faith in him. And you keep saying, get to the bullpen. Yeah, if your bullpen is sound, but I don't see our bullpen being super, super sound and full of depth right now because there's too many question marks going into the season.
But again, there were question marks last year.
Yeah,
The Mets bullpen for the last couple years have been the land of misfit toys. And it's all of a sudden so and so gets this. They find this. They find these diamonds in the rough that they only keep for a year or two and tell them to kick rocks afterwards because they don't want to pay them. It's one of those things where if you can get to some places, then great. Like, you can figure it out. But if the Mets can also average 4 or 5 runs a game, if you give it up, then you give it up. I mean, shit, Diaz was not Diaz of 3 years ago, but Diaz got the job done. And I think it has a lot to do now with how the bullpen goes. I know you like him, I don't see Beatty being a full-time second baseman. I think it's going to be him and Acuna flip-flopping depending on who's pitching.
Oh, look, to answer that, I was going to get to that. They've already said it during broadcast. Beatty and Acuna are going to alternate. Beatty's not going to be the starter, and then at the end of the game, Acuna comes in. That might happen from time to time. Granted, depending on this, that, or the other thing. But primarily, Beatty's going to play. They said probably a good 50 to 60% of the games Beatty's going to start. And Acuna is going to play the other 50 to 40%. They also want Beatty to still play third base.
Only when
they give Vientos, they're going to make him. They're going to have him. They're going to have him alternate DHing with Winker. So and also here's the other little wrinkle. Pete can also have a day off and DH because Vientos can play first. So right there, you got a guy that's very versatile. You got Vientos who can play dual positions in the infield. Beatty can play dual positions on the infield, and Vientos can play dual positions in the infield. Acuna, I don't know if Acuna can play third or short. I know he's played short and second, but I don't know if he can play anything. I don't know how I didn't see him play second base much this spring, but I know he can play short. I know that. But we know what Lindor ain't coming out of that lineup unless he's hurt. Lindor ain't leaving that lineup.
No. But that's the thing. Like, when it comes to the Mets, obviously, we don't know. And it's kind of one of those things where you want them to have the year that they had last year. Obviously, I'll take that as a repeat. I'll take another AL. But here's the thing I've always said. Get to the playoffs. That's the same with the Yankees. That's the same with the Cardinals. Your first goal, now that the season begins tomorrow, is get to the playoffs. It doesn't matter how you get there. Get there. No one had, including you, had the Mets even getting there. I saw that team getting there. I even predicted on this that they would squeak in with the third wild spot.
Look, I admit it. Look, I freely admit it, and I'm not gonna retract it. I'm not gonna backpedal. I didn't think much of the team last year. Look, is the team better than it was last year going into the season? Yes, it is. I'm not going to sit here and say this team is just as bad as they were last year. I will not say that because I would be lying if I said that. This team has gotten better. But, and it's like I said, that's the big but. There's too many what ifs on this in the starting rotation and in the bullpen. There's too many what ifs.
I think there was already what ifs. There was what ifs last year. There were what ifs a couple of years ago. I think the fact that the what ifs are going to take over no matter what, and I think the what ifs are what makes this season great. I mean, the over-under right now for the Mets is, what is it, to make the play? No, actually, what is the regular season total for them? I think it's like 89.
Well, I said, if you listen to what I said they're an 85 win team. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to say they're going to, because I remember what I said last year, and I was wrong. I said I don't see this team winning 60 games last year.
They're a 90.
I said it.
They have them at 90 wins. I don't see them getting 91 wins this year.
They're going
I
to
see
be
them.
between
I see them getting
85 to 90. 85 to 90.
I have them at 89 wins, exactly like last year.
No, but I said I'll admit it. I was wrong. Last year I thought this team could win 60 games.
Oh, that's
and I was dead
asinine.
wrong.
They have the Yankees at 88. Yeah, that's not happening. They're gonna fucking win more.
I was dead wrong, and I admit it. And I will not, unlike a lot of other Met fans that I do know, I will not retract what I said. I said what I said, and I stood by it. And I was wrong. If I'm wrong again this year, great. I'm not going to shit on them. But right now, the starting rotation scares me, and the bullpen scares me. I can't not say that, because they do. You have faith in them. Bless your heart, you have faith in them. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it, and I respect your opinion. But right now, I think the starting rotation scares me, and the bullpen scares me. They do. And if they succeed, great. But I would not be shocked if they failed, because I'm not going to have This is one thing, being as Mets fan as long as I have. You go into the season with trepidation, and if you come out smelling like a rose, it'll taste even sweeter if we were to win everything. But you got to learn to accept that this team hasn't done anything essentially since '86. They've gotten to the World Series a couple times, but I'm sorry. It's like the old Janet Jackson song. What have you done for me lately? Last year was a surprise. Didn't think it was going to happen. And I rode the wave as long as I could. But I had a feeling they were going to fizzle out towards the end, because I didn't think they're going to have the juice to beat the Dodgers. And I was right. And the Dodgers are the Dodgers.
Well,
You spend as much ridiculous money as the Dodgers spent last year and this year. Fuck, the Dodgers are going to be a fucking juggernaut. They are the new Yankees. I'm sorry to say it, Christian. The Dodgers have become the new fucking Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, I mean, let's face it. We kind of look at it this way. Soto could have had more money, but he chose the Mets. The Mets didn't even apparently offer him the most money.
Right.
Apparently that was the Dodgers, and the reason he didn't take it was because of the fucking...
He didn't want to be on the West Coast again.
No, it's not even that. They offered him apparently close to like $85 million a year, but it was all deferred money.
Oh. He didn't want to be the next Bobby Bonilla.
No, he didn't. That's the thing. Like, he wanted to be...
He wanted to be paid now.
Yeah, he wanted to be paid now, and the Mets offered the most money with incentives. Not a shock. Oh, all right. So we ready to get into our... first off, Ryan, you've been quiet through all this. What is your opinion on what we've been talking about? Or do you not have one? Or did he fall asleep?
I think he fell asleep.
Ryan!
I think he did say he went to the dispensary today. He might have fallen asleep. I'm surprised I haven't fallen asleep yet. And I stayed away, and I stayed awake as long as I have so far. And I'm pretty surprised. I'm pretty impressed by myself, to be honest with you.
Try to see. He's not even on. Go figure. I don't hear him. His microphone's not on mute, so that's why I'm like, I can't hear him.
He might be just laying down.
All right.
Let's just move on, and he comes back in. You can ask him if he comes back in.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the AL Central first. AL Central, the Twins are your favorite right now at plus 175. Detroit Tigers are second. Cleveland Guardians are third. Kansas City Royals are tied to third at at plus 320, and the Chicago White Sox are 250 to 1. So they're out. Have fun with that cake shake, boys.
I'm going to say right now, the team that I think is going to surprise a lot of people this year, I think it's going to be the Detroit Tigers.
Okay.
Because the simple reason is you're going to get a full season out of that left-hander. What's his name?
Ooh, Scooble.
Screwball. You're going to get a full season out of him. And if this kid dominates at a full level, like I think he's capable of doing, the Tigers could surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
Christian, what about you?
I'm gonna take Minnesota. Yeah, I think they win this division.
I am going with the so-called long shot, but at the same time, I think this is going to be the team that has the AL MVP and the AL Rookie of the Year, and that will be the Kansas City Royals.
Not a bad pick.
No, I think Jock Gaglione, when he comes up from AAA, will be a fucking house on fire. Kid out of Florida, power bat. He's been hitting the ball like 120 miles an hour off the bat. He's got to get acclimated to Major League pitching. He does that. He comes in. He'll be a house on fire. And Bobby Wood Jr. is going to be the guy that is going to do something that's pretty ridiculous.
I'll tell you what. The Royals quietly have been building themselves a dynasty of a team. Between Witt, like you said, Vinny Pasquantino, he's another one. He's got a lot of upside.
They got the Italian side on that.
You got the starting rotation is not bad. You know, I mean,
with all the Mets cast-offs.
Pretty much, you got Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo as being your two anchors on your fucking starting rotation. Who'd have thunk either one of them?
Well, plus the possible Cy Young in
Lugo.
No, the other kid they're getting for the first. Oh shit! Why am I spacing on his name? AL Cy Young. Let me see if I can find his name. Crochet. Garrett Crochet.
No, Garrett Crochet's with the fucking Red Sox.
Sorry,
not with the Royals.
Cole Reagan.
I was gonna say Crochet's with the fucking Red Sox, dude. Come on.
Yeah, Cole is freaking their ace now. Wacha and Lugo are 2 and 3.
But no, the Royals. Look, if I didn't say the Tigers, my next team would have been the Royals. I mean, it's gonna be a two. I think it's really gonna be a two-man race, a two-team race, maybe 3 if you throw in the Twins. But that's. I mean, the White Sox. Fuck the White Sox.
They're out already before it even started.
Let me put it this way: I'm going to say I use that Will Ferrell joke. This just in: the White Sox have been eliminated from the playoffs.
As in the words of Family Guy, and here's the pitch, and the season's over.
Season's over. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but
God, the only time the White Sox were ever entertaining were 2 times. 1, when AJ Brzezinski was on the team, and 2, when they blew up a bunch of fucking disco records in center field.
You know what's sad? I actually remember when that happened.
And don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know I'm right.
Yeah, that was Disco Demolition Night at the old Comiskey Park. I remember that very well. I had friends who had brothers that went to that. That drove out to Chicago just for that.
Gonna say it's like
the kid that lived 2 houses down from me. His sister went, and she actually brought back some of the destroyed records, and she showed them to me. They were on fire. That shit was fucking crazy. That shit was crazy, man.
Right, you there? Or was that Christian yawning?
That's Christian.
No, that was me yawning. And actually, I gotta get going because I gotta be up mad early tomorrow.
All right, well, give me your picks then for the divisions.
Yeah, give them all run through it real quick, and then you and I'll do that. So,
the The Central, I got Minnesota.
Okay.
The West, I got Houston. The East, I'll still say the Yankees. I mean, you know, wouldn't be surprised if they did win it. Would be surprised if they didn't. Wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. Health is just going to be the determinant thing. NL, I got Philly in the Central. I got
Meaning the
Milwaukee.
East. You mean the
I mean,
East.
in the East, I got Milwaukee in the Central, and I got the Dodgers in the West.
Fair picks. Fair picks.
Yep.
All right, man.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Later,
See ya.
Christian.
All right, later.
All right. Well, speaking of the AL East, let's dive into the AL East. The Yankees are your favorites right now at at plus 160. Then the Red Sox at 2.5 to 1. Baltimore 275. The now Port St. Lucie Rays 9 to 1. And the Toronto Blue Jays 11 to 1.
It's for me.
Yep.
It's gonna come between, and I hate to. Well, I don't hate to say it. It's gonna come down between the Yankees and I think the Orioles. I think those are gonna be your two teams. Your third team in the race possible could be the Red Sox. I don't see the Blue Jays doing anything because I think the Blue Jays by the deadline are going to be shedding payroll like Kim Kardashian sheds clothes. It's going to happen because they're not re-signing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This has already been established. He wants out. Bo Bichette, I think, is a free agent after this year too, I believe. Max Scherzer, you ain't going to get shit out of him. And the team really doesn't have any. I don't know how their minor leagues stack up. Their biggest star on that team is Santander that they got in free agency. He's going to be their big bopper. He's going to be their only bopper. Because, like I said, I don't see Vladdy being here all year. And as for the Rays, it's like you said it. They're a nation without a country. They won't have their home crowd rooting in their own stadium. Their team is in disarray. They have no stars. They are essentially the Chicago White Sox of the AL East. Maybe not as bad as the White Sox, but pretty damn close. And I have friends that are Rays fans, but I hate to break it to them. But that's my thought for that. I don't know what you think.
I'm going the other way. I'm not as much as I think the Yankees are the top team. I think the Yankees are too injury prone right now. They're missing one of their bats in Stanton. Garrett Cole, granted, not an ace, but he's still a big part of that rotation. You're leaving that up to Fried now. Other than that, who the hell do you really have in that rotation that you can confidently sit there and say, give him the ball, he's going to go out and win?
That's essentially the way I feel about the Mets, but we've already been down that road.
Right. The team that I like is Boston. I like the Red Sox this year because of what they've done. They have slowly built a team that is going to focus more on the back end of the game. After the fifth inning, that is when the Red Sox are going to take over games.
And getting Garrett Crochet in the offseason was not a bad move on their part.
No, but I don't think they're not going to win games at the start of the game. They're going to keep it close. So I'm betting a lot of if I'm betting the Red Sox, I'm betting a lot of full games because the first five, they're not going to be that. It's when it gets to that bullpen game where I think the Red Sox can take over games.
And here's a little side note. Adam Ottavino signed with the Red Sox in the offseason. He was cut.
Yeah.
So right now I think Adam Ottavino's done.
I agree with that. All right, let's go to the West. The Astros are your favorites at 170, but right behind them, very close, is Texas at 180. Seattle is 210. The Sacramento A's are 25-1, and the LA Angels are 28-1. I would love to see the Athletics actually do something. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you can go from Seattle up, and then everybody else below can go away.
My opinion with that one, that's a tough decision. That's a tough league to call, and I'll say exactly why. Because no team in that grouping that you just mentioned, not one of their rotations, not one of their lineups actually scare me. Nobody does. Because the Astros lost a lot of big bats in the offseason, either to free agency or trades. The Mariners, you're hoping for a bounce back year from Julio Rodriguez and from Luis Castillo as a starter. Angels, you don't know what the hell you're going to get out of Mike Trout.
That's if he can stay healthy.
That's why I said what I said. And as for the A's, your biggest pickup in the offseason was Luis Severino. And essentially, the A's are a minor league team with major league aspirations. That's the way I look at it.
Not even that. They have, you're still looking at, when it comes to the A's, they still have one of the best closers in the game.
Yeah, but here's the question. Here's the kicker. You got to get to him.
Well, that is true. But also, you do have, Brett Rooker. You do have, like, Gio Urshela is now there. Miguel Andujar. They have players. They don't have any big bats.
They have no depth. That's one thing that team does not have is a lot, and this goes for the entire AL West. All these teams, none of them have real good depth. And it's going to be like, take all 5 of those teams. I think that's right. Five teams, right?
5 teams.
Take all 5 teams and basically throw them, put in your hand like you're throwing a set of dice, and throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Because not one team one of those 5 teams actually frighten me. None of them do. And if I had to pick, if Castillo has a bounce back year and Julio Rodriguez has a bounce back year, I would say it's going to be Seattle. I just don't see the Astros being without Bregman, without what's the guy they traded to the Cubs? What's his fucking name? He was traded to the Cubs. I know that.
Hold on.
What's his
from
fucking
Seattle?
name?
Hold on, I'll pull up.
No, from Houston.
Oh, from Houston.
He went from Houston to the Cubs in a trade. What's his fucking name? Oh God, I can't. Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now. When was the trade?
It was in the off. It was during the off season. It was in December, I think.
Okay, I don't even have December.
He's an infielder. I know that much.
Christian Walker?
That's it. No. Christian Walker signed with
Houston.
He's with. No. Yeah, he is with Houston. Okay, no, it's not Walker.
Let me pull up the Cubs. Cubs.
Pull up the Cubs roster because I know he's a Cub. I know that much. Not Bregman because Alex Bregman went to the friggin' Red Sox. But this was a trade.
Luis Vaz? No.
No, not him. He was one of their big names. Let
me pull up their depth chart.
Let me see it here. Yeah, I'm starting
Michael
slow.
Bush, Justin Turner.
No.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
No, that's not
Kyle
him.
Tucker.
Kyle Tucker, that's it.
Yeah. It wasn't a trade. It was a free agent signing.
I thought it was a trade. My bad. I thought it was a trade, but no. Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman were 2 of your keys if you're Astros fans. Both the guys are now gone. Right now, the team is essentially on the short, very short stature of Jose Altuve, who's now playing the fucking outfield.
Left field.
So, if you think about it, the Astros are basically, I hate to think, but they're a couple players away from rebuilding.
So you're taking Seattle?
I would take Seattle in that just because if Julio Rodriguez has a comeback year, and if he's got the potential to do so, if he comes back and has a monster year, he could put the Mariners on his back and take them to the postseason.
So I'm going to take that idea and put it with a different team. Now, the roster does not scare teams.
No roster out there does.
But the pitching is going to scare teams.
And that's who?
And that's the man that's about to pick up the ball for opening day, and Jack Leiter and the Texas Rangers.
Look, the Rangers,
their hitting is going to, they're going to win a lot of tight games. But the question is Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker are going to be the guys that saying, hey, you're now here, you're young, show me what you got. And the big question out of all that is going to be, does Jacob deGrom stay healthy?
and my answer to that is...
Your answer is going to be no, probably not. I understand that. But if he stays healthy and he can change up his game, that's a three-man team that is pretty dangerous. That's a three-man rotation that's pretty dangerous.
And you know what the sad part is the Mets had Kunal Rocker, and they chose to bypass him because of arm issues that the medicals, when they drafted him, 2 or 3 years ago that they drafted him?
3.
And they saw his medicals and were quite scared of him. And he got picked up by the Rangers. And hey, good on the kid. You know, he made the majors. Good on the kid. But he pitched great in the spring. But here's what a lot of fans that I've seen online on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that for other divisions and stuff like that. Everybody's saying, oh, these guys dominated in spring. Oh, they're going to be a powerhouse. It's like, you got to understand one thing about spring training. This goes for everybody, including myself. This is you're facing AA, some single A players, non-roster guys that you basically just picked up to see what they got left. And I hate to keep stealing from Major League, but it's like when they say, oh, so-and-so's hitting bombs left, right, forwards, and backwards. And this goes for Brett Beatty, and this essentially goes out for the Brett Beattys of the world. Yeah, you could be hitting balls over the fence like they're nothing, but off of guys that very well could be looking for a job next week.
Holy shit. Sorry. A photo just popped up of Colton Cowser.
Who?
Colton Cowser.
Who the fuck is Colton Cowser?
An outfielder for, I believe, the Houston. No, indoor team, probably Houston. But anyway, this motherfucker just threw a baseball from center field to the suites in the 4th deck.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Literally, it just popped up an hour ago from MLB's Twitter.
Hey, but you know what? Let's just that's impressive. That is. Let's move on with this because I do want to call this.
He's from Baltimore, by the way.
Okay, let's just move this on because I'm starting to drag a little bit, and I want to get the rest of these things out.
All right, NL Central. The Cubs are the favorite. Then Milwaukee at plus 280. Cincinnati at 450. Pittsburgh at 9-1. And St. Louis at 975 to 1. And Cubs favorite at 110. I think you have to fade the Cubs because there's nothing that proves that the Cubs are dare. I really think this is going to be the next step for De La Cruz. I think Cincinnati might take that next step. I hope they do. But if I really want to go with a fun one, I would rather go Pittsburgh, but I can't. Give me Cincy.
Again, I'm going to pick right now my top choice, and I'm going with my gut, is I have a feeling Pittsburgh's going to surprise a lot of people this year. Although I do see where you're coming from on that. But there's the difference between the other team I would put some stock behind is the Reds, because I see the Reds being a potential juggernaut down the road, because they got a lot of young kids coming up, and if the Pirates could stay healthy and certain players like Paul Skeens could stay healthy, if O'Neill Cruz could stay healthy.
Oh, this is going to be the first year of O'Neill Cruz in center field too.
And the team's got potential. They could be a sleeper team. So if I had to pick, I'm going with Pittsburgh as a sleeper team.
Okay. No, I mean, listen, at 9-1, that's not a terrible pick, because it's the back end of their rotation that should worry people. That's really going to be it. But if that back end of the rotation can stay healthy and be fine, then guess what? They're gonna be a nasty team this year.
They're going to be they're going to be a sleeper. They're going to be a sleeper team, and I definitely see them being just that. The Reds are a close second in that. As for everybody else, Milwaukee,
we'll see.
Milwaukee lost a lot of players to free agency. Christian Yelich is getting older.
The Cubs have to show me something for them to be the favorites.
And as for the Cubs, look, I'm still upset that we traded Pete Crow Armstrong, because he could have been. I think he would have been great here with the Mets. But he's going to be, and I hate to say this, but he's going to be, because he has I see greatness in him. He definitely has an upside to him. In 2 or 3 years, he's going to go along the route of a Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant.
He'll be back to the Mets.
He's going to be traded. He's going to be moved, because the Cubs always start off pretty good, but all they got in that starting rotation that's of any decency is Imanaga. And I want to see how Imanaga performs with that sophomore curse on, or potential sophomore curse, I should say.
Right. Because
he pitched great last year, but here's the thing, and here's the same thing that's going to go for when we talk about the Dodgers too. The leagues have now seen him. They know what to expect out of him. When you're facing a pitcher that you've never seen before, and all you've seen is video highlights on him, seeing a guy on video highlights and seeing the guy in person is two different things.
Right.
Now, with Imanaga, he's good. He's also 33 years old. Not saying he's old, but don't forget, when the Cubs got him, he was what, 31 or 32 when they signed him.
Something like that, yeah.
He's in his 30s. Right now, he's in that, at the tail end of the peak, not seeing the drop-off, but he can see the exit from where he's sitting. Not saying he's going to, but he's definitely, the exit's definitely on his GPS.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's getting to his destination.
His destination is there. Could surprise everybody. Could have another Cy Young Award type year. Possible Cy Young type. I think he won Rookie of the Year last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Look, the guy was dominating. I remember when the Mets faced him. One game he absolutely cleaned our clock, and the next game we cleaned his clock. So I mean, he's not immortal. He is a man. He can be beat. You know, he's not a machine like in Rocky. He's cut. That's what I see with that. But let's move on. What's your pick for that, or did you already pick?
For it's Cincy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Cruz takes the next step, and we see what we have. I already there's already a bet on De La Cruz to get the steals. I have him getting the
stolen base crown.
Yeah, I already have that. He's the favorite. It's not enough. I got it at like minus 160.
I got to figure O'Neal Cruz has got to be up there too.
Let me when this is done before we make some other future picks. I'll find out. All right, so the East. Let's just face it. It's 3-team race. Atlanta 110 is the favorite at plus 110. Philly at plus 215. The Mets are 225, and then 80-1. Washington. Miami is 250-1.
With that one,
I cannot take Atlanta until I see how well
Acuna
is coming back.
And Strider.
I have to. I've seen Strider pitch a little bit in spring training. He's looking strong, but I can't until I actually see game because Acuna's not back yet, and Acuna's not probably going to be back until May-ish.
Say with Strider, they don't see Strider coming back until May or June.
Well, he's already been kind of back, but he needs a little more time.
No, from what I've read and what I've watched on MLB Network and stuff like that, the Braves are being very
he's
trepidatious because he pitches essentially yes, because you look at it as basically Spencer Strider is going to replace Max Fried as the dominant.
He was being compared to freaking Nolan Ryan.
They're not wrong. I watched the guy pitch against the Mets. His fastball touched 102, 103. That's fucking disgusting for a starting pitcher.
But again, he gets hurt because he throws sliders.
Essentially, yeah. But if I had to pick, I mean, my heart's always gonna be with
Listen,
the Mets.
we're both in the same boat. I'm taking Philly.
I can't bring myself to say it, but I agree with you on that. But I can't say it.
I know you can't. That's why I'm like, listen, I would love to see the Mets win the division, but I with the toss-up, I have them as a wild card team.
Oh, I definitely see them as a potential wild card team. It's essentially, this division is a 3-team division. That's essentially what it is.
Again, yeah. But here's the thing. If I'm going with that 4-team, I'm going with the opposite team. If it's not Cincinnati, I think the AL is going to be the Pittsburgh.
But the one thing, there is let me put it to you this way. The Nationals, I don't see being anything, but the Nationals have something.
They have a bunch of young comers that could
They
do
got
something.
a kid by the name of James Wood.
Yep. Center
who plays
field.
the outfield. No, he's a left fielder, I think.
He was center. They might have moved
But
him.
he also played center and left, but he played both.
Yeah. I watched him in college.
That kid's fucking scary. If he has a breakout year, this kid could be the next superstar for the Washington Nationals.
I'll give you my rookie of the year when we get to it, because
you're gonna have to bring me up to speed on that, because I got you
on that. And let's face it, we both can agree with it. LA is winning the fucking West.
Okay, now here's what I see. Here's what I got to say about that. As much as the Dodgers are probably going to be a juggernaut in that West, and that's not I agree with you on that. But here's my only wrinkle that I'm going to throw into that, or the fly into the ointment type of thing. Ohtani's not going to pitch this year.
No, they've already announced that.
That's your first wrinkle. Second of all, you're going to see what you're going to get out of Yamamoto. I don't know what you're going to see out of him.
I mean, he's already pitched when he was in Japan. He already pitched.
No, but I just was saying long term, I don't know, because don't forget he was injured last year too. And the third wrinkle, I don't know what you're going to get out of Rokusaki. Because nobody's seen him pitch other than in videos.
He pitched in Japan
Again.
I'm saying no. He's already. But I'm saying there's already tape on him actually pitching against major league teams. But we don't know. You don't know what he's going to be like for 35 starts.
Again, I don't look at one start. I'm got to say, for the whole 162 game marathon, the long run, he could start off dominating, but by the All-Star break, he could end up shit in the bed. Not saying he's going to, not saying he will, not saying he won't. But and I said the same thing about Yamamoto last year. You don't know what you're going to get. You got Kershaw coming back for, I think, his final year.
Yep.
You got Tyler Glasnow, who's coming off an injury season. You got, what's that guy's name? Tony Goslin. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. And then you got your favorite player in Snell. So, I mean, the Dodgers went out and spent a shit ton of money this year on players. But you could say, and this is why I compare the Yankees to the Dodgers. The Yankees have gone out and spent buttloads of monies on players, and the team just doesn't gel. Will this team gel? Nobody knows. Do they have the potential? They're scary. They're scary. But here's the other wrinkle. You're getting a Freddie Freeman. Oh, there Ryan's gone. I think he fell asleep. I think he just turned it off. I think he fell asleep.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. It's all good. I'll talk to him later.
But the thing I see is you're getting a Freddie Freeman who's on that trajectory that we said with Imanaga. Freeman's looking at the off-ramp already. Freeman's got another 2 or 3 years in him at most before I think Freddie hangs him up. Because he played, 12 or 13 years with the Braves? And this is 4 or 5 years he's going to play with the Dodgers or something? Something weird like that. He's in his season 15 or 16th season or something. I could be off by the years.
Yeah, something like that.
But the Dodgers, as scary as they are, the Dodgers, I think, are going to show a vulnerable side this year because, God forbid, anything happens to Ohtani, Saki, or Yamamoto, and there's 3 of your big cash cows going down. If something were to happen to all 3 guys, not saying at the same time, not wishing it, I'm just being realistic. If something happens to those 3 guys, the Dodgers could very well be fucked because they don't have anybody other than those 3 guys. I mean, 2 of them are pitchers, 1 of them is a hitter. If Ohtani were to go down with a serious injury, what really do the Dodgers have? I'm asking a question. What do the Dodgers have that would scare a major league team? Nothing.
They have, so it's weird. So the team
other than Mookie Betts, who's coming off of an injury as well.
No, he's not injured. He's sick.
But still, he's coming off of health issues. You don't know what you're going to get out of Mookie Betts because other than Ohtani, Betts is your other cash cow. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, he's gonna be there. I mean, it's just
you don't know what you're gonna get. But do I see that? I mean, the other teams in that thing, San Diego.
I think all the other teams are just shit though.
San Diego is the only other team in that division that I see has a snowball's chance in hell of making anything. The Rockies aren't going to do shit. Who else we got in that? The Giants. You can flip a coin on the Giants. And then who else you got left? What else you got? Did I leave anybody out?
Arizona, but now Arizona's
pretty much dead in the water.
Arizona pretty much lost their one big fucking pitcher.
To be honest with you, he did. I'll say this. If you follow the offseason like I did, the Diamondbacks were trying everything in their mother to dump him.
Yeah. And
for him to go down is I don't think a tremendous loss.
No, I think, but I just literally in his last freaking game, and then before it starts, and then all of a sudden he's now needing Tommy John.
You know, it's
which means he'll probably miss next year too.
If he has the surgery within the week, he could pitch by June of next year. If he has it now. If he has it within the next 7 to 10 days, he could be back by June or July of next year, essentially. But if he prolongs it, he very well could be lost for next year. Which goes to show you, he is an agent of who? His agent is who?
Yep, Boris.
Buttfuck Boris. Hey, Buttfuck. How's JD Martinez? Oh, wait a minute. He isn't with anybody. That to me right there screams, if JD Martinez isn't signed by now, he ain't signing with anybody.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could see this wrinkle, and take this with 1.5 pounds of salt, like they say on Wrestle Talk. Shout out to Wrestle Talk. If the Mets have an injury to somebody, to Winker or Vientos, I would not be shocked if the Mets went and said to JD, "Can you still perform?" and sign him to a low risk contract. Have him play 2 or 3 weeks in the minors and bring him up and be your DH. Would not be shocked. Would not shock me.
Yeah.
Do I hope both of those guys stay healthy? Absolutely, but it's not something I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
All right. So let's finish this up. We got our picks. We don't have to worry about World Series picks because that's stupid to make. We picked a division. I really don't, because everything can change in 162. We don't need to predict who's going to make it to the World Series.
No, I can't even look that far ahead.
Who do you have as the MVP for AL and NL? I'll tell you right now, I don't have Shohei as the NL.
I'm going to stick to my local team. I'm going to say if Lindor starts off hot and if he rides it like he did last year, I could definitely see Lindor being MVP because I saw something out of Lindor last year that I've never seen out of him before.
Okay. I got someone coming out of the East winning MVP, and I got Bryce Harper.
Bryce, that's going to be...
If he stays healthy and has a year, he's 16-1. I like that. I like those odds.
It's going to be...
What's Lindor's?
Lindor...
22.
Lindor, I definitely...
De La Cruz, too, could definitely get that.
Oh, De La Cruz, look. I would not even be ashamed to say is I would throw Neil Cruz's name into that grouping.
Well, you want long shot? Okay, here we go. Let's go down that list and see what O'Neal Cruz is looking at because he's probably somewhere.
He's on the list. He's on the list, but he's probably not in the top.
No, he's nowhere near the top. Hold on. O'Neal Cruz. I got home runs. They got 22. O'Neal Cruz total. He's not even in the discussion on here for MVP.
Look,
for
really
Caesars. For Caesars, anyway. I'll keep talking. I'll see if I can find it on something else.
You know what? I'm just saying it's like because if he's healthy, he's got definite MVP type credentials. He's got power. He's got speed. He's good defensive. He's got a good glove, and he's definitely got a big upside. Same with Ellie De La Cruz.
It would have to be like he gets like say 100 stolen bases, in something that we haven't seen in.
Anything, you know what? It's like I'll say this: anything in baseball is possible if someone stays healthy. That in itself is the big 1,000% question mark with any of these guys. If some of these young kids, look, I was singing the praises of Bobby Witt Jr. years ago. I was singing this kid's praises, and I got a ton of his rookie cards. I've sang this kid's praises. This kid has definitely shown me he's got the potential. Julio Cruz is kind of disappointed in me, because I expected a lot more out of him. He disappointed me last year. He's got to have a bounce back year, or he's just going to be a flash in the pan.
Yeah, I got nothing for.
Well, it doesn't. Like I said, that's just my long shot.
Yeah.
You know, that's a long shot. I mean, will it happen? Probably not. But if it were, you could say, "Hey, you said it." You know,
And are you taking? Because I'm taking Bobby Witt for the AL.
I'll take Witt as well, because I definitely see Witt as being a very big. He's going to be the next George Brett of the Royals. He's going to be a cornerstone of this team going forward for the next 10 years. He signed he's got I think a 9 or 10 year contract.
Yeah, they got him on the cheap.
But he's going to be the next face of this Kansas City Royals franchise.
So
he's got the potential to be so. He stays healthy and he continues to do what he's doing. I don't see any downside when it comes to Bobby Witt Jr.
So
he's going to surpass his old man and thing.
Yeah,
his old man was a mediocre pitcher at best.
So Cy Young, or not Cy Young, sorry. I'm not even worried about the Cy Young. Rookie of the Year.
You're gonna have to throw some names at me, because, like I said, I really don't know.
Top of the leaderboard for AL is Jason Dominguez.
That's a question mark. But
Will Warren is on this list. Kumar Rocker, don't trust any pitcher winning Rookie of the Year because it doesn't happen.
Well, Imanaga won it last year, so that kind of like
that's one in God knows how long. Jack Leiter's on here, but
it's a tough thing. But
the kid that I like is, he didn't make the roster out of this, but he's literally hitting the cover off the ball, and like hitting. I think he clocked in at like 120 miles an hour exit velo. Is Kansas City Royal Jock Caglione.
I've heard about that kid.
So the kid kid's coming out of Florida. Was in the draft with Paul Skeens.
Yeah, he was at. I think, if memory serves, a couple years ago, I said there was a kid that's going to be a thing, and I think I was the one who talked about him.
Yeah, well, I knew he was going to be a thing. I didn't know when he was going to come up.
He's the one that was hitting. He was hitting all those monster home runs in the College World Series.
Yeah, because I knew Skeens was ready to come up when they immediately got him. I'm like, Skeens pro ready now. Caglione needed a year to season. He's going to spend probably 2 months down in minor leagues. So they can bypass his option.
Smart.
Yep. And they're going to bring him up, and I think he's going to tear the cover off the ball. He hasn't even touched major league soil yet. He started off last week at 40-1. He is now on BetMGM. He's now down to 25-1. He hasn't even stepped foot in a major league locker room yet.
You know what? I'll give him the benefit, because if it's the kid
and
I
have him, and I have a bet. So Caesars has the best number right now, 40-1.
Put $5 on him. You make a,
yep, 200. Guess what? There's 200 on it. It's for $5. It's $235. I was way ahead of you.
There's my pick for that.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing with him. There's nobody really for NL. For AL, that's really it. For NL, it's tricky because there's not a lot of names
There's nobody. I haven't heard, and I watch a lot of. You have to understand. Especially the last couple of weeks, I've done nothing but watch MLB Network stuff, and I've not heard a name. I've heard some names here and there. I couldn't pick them out of a lineup right now if I tried. There's nobody that really screams, "Oh my God, look at this kid! This kid's going to be the next so and so going forth," type of thing. There's nobody. I haven't heard of anybody. I mean, if I have, I just not remembering them right now. But as for Cy Young, I know it's a long shot, but I'm going to give it to Skeens if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I think the fact that Skeens should have won NL Rookie of the Year, and they didn't give it to him because he just missed his qualifications. No, he should get Cy Young. If he stays healthy and does everything, he should easily get.
And the one thing I heard this comparison, and I don't know who said it. I really wish I could remember who the fuck said it, so I could give them credit. The last time somebody came up with this much promise, in fact, I think it might have been Keith Hernandez that said it, that the last time a player of this qualifications came up with this limited minor league experience that went on to have a Hall of Fame career and went down to become a legend was Tom Seaver.
But here's the thing: the difference is, and I'll say this, and we'll wrap this up.
Okay.
Watching him in college, he doesn't. His pitching is very simple. It's a lot of fastball grips. So he throws fastball, two-seamer, splitter, cutter. He doesn't have a lot of breaking pitches. He has a curveball, obviously, but it's more of a natural curve pitch. So
like a slurve or a regular curve?
It's like a slurve. He doesn't snap his wrist. He doesn't. So, and that's what I'm getting at. His pitching is so simple, but it is so effective because he's pinpoint accuracy. But the problem is not the problem, but the benefit of his is he can hit these top speeds and then come back because he's throwing the exact same arm motion. He is not risking himself in Tommy John, needing Tommy John. Like, I'll give you another, flip this. We've said this about this. Look at Jacob deGrom. DeGrom likes to throw that slider at fucking 90 miles an hour. The reason that his arm couldn't handle it was because every time he threw that fucking Martian pitch, he would put strain on his shoulder and elbow. And guess what? It's his second or third? Third Tommy. This was
second. That's the second Tommy John.
No, he got one in the minors too, didn't he?
No, that's the one. He had one in the minors with the Mets.
Then what did he have with? Yeah, he had one in the minors. What did he have before he left? What did he have?
He had it was a shoulder thing, I think. No, you're right. You know what? You might be right. You very well could be right. This could be a second. It's either second or let me look.
I want to say it's his third. That was last year. Was his third Tommy John?
Hold on. Let me look it up before we jump off the bridge. Let me see.
Or he got Tommy John surgery, like a redo. He may not have had Tommy John, but I thought he had Tommy John surgery.
Let's see. Jacob deGrom, he had Tommy surgery twice in his career, once in 2010 and once in 2023. So he's had it twice.
Okay.
He's had it twice.
23 was with Texas. Then what did he have with the Mets that shut him down for the fucking year?
He had something to do with his shoulder.
Okay, so
I think it was the same thing Matt Harvey had. I think it was a thoracic issue.
Okay, so it wasn't Tommy John, but it was a shoulder issue.
It was a shoulder, either shoulder or elbow issue, but it wasn't Tommy John related. No. Wait a minute. It was in his forearm. He had forearm tightness.
Oh, okay.
forearm tendonitis, I think they said it was.
But again, that could have had a lot to do with how he threw the baseball. I think that it's one of those things where the difference is like you see that and look at what happened with DeGrom. Skeens does not throw that way. Skeens throws a lot of he throws fastball grips.
But you also said it too when it came to Spencer Strider.
Yeah, he threw a lot of
breaking stuff.
And that's the problem. Like, listen, you got to think about it. They probably started throwing breaking stuff when they were 15 years old, if they were throwing that way. So 15 to 20 years of you doing that motion every time, you don't think it's going to snap?
But here's my thing, and I've said this before, and we're not going to go into long discussions about it because I know we're going to bring this into the station soon because we have to soon. And I said this, and you kind of fought me on it. I said the uptick in Tommy John surgeries are due to the pitch clock. That may or not have, I may or may not have been a little off on that.
I was gonna say it's not you're right. It's not, but it's not the pitch clock. I think it's how these kids' mechanics are.
Well, look, I'm not taking the pitch clock totally out of the faultness of that. I don't think it's the main reason, but it definitely contributes to it, I think. But again, it's these young kids that are sitting there. Easy does it there, poker chips. It's driving me crazy. I heard that during last week's show too, and I wanted to rip those chips out of your hand. But no, it's like it's a combination of look how fast I can throw, look at how such and such breaks, look at how I'm this, look at how so dominating I'm with that. And I hate to say this thing, but the kids of today are built and coddled a lot more now than they were 25, 30 years ago.
Well, the other thing that doesn't help is all these kids are one-sport athletes.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And what I mean by that is that a lot of these players, a lot of these kids play one sport. So, okay, you play one sport. Well, then you don't have the same muscles as, say, somebody that played
football and basketball.
To where, okay, all you're focusing on are those muscles right there. Look at someone like Giancarlo Stanton. He now has tennis elbow in both of his freaking elbows.
Christian, the great Christian that's on our thing that left early, and I really wish you were here, gave him a moniker a couple of years ago, called him Glass Carlo. That name cannot be any more fucking fitting when it comes to him.
Yeah.
And the fact that basically the Yankees pretty much stole him from the Marlins, but I actually think the Marlins made out better on that deal. Because the kids that they got in that trade, I think a couple of them are still with the team, and I think one is either been traded or I think they gave 3 or 4 guys up for him. A couple of them are still with the Marlins, but the big name was obviously Starlin Castro was the big ticket in that thing. I don't even think Castro plays anymore. I think he's done. But the Marlins, I think, made out better in that because they essentially gave up on him because they knew he was going to be made of glass. And it proves to be everybody was right.
Oh, that also came right out of when he won the MVP.
Look, when Glass Carlo's healthy, he hits balls 400 or 500 feet.
Listen,
I am not going to sit here and deny it.
You're not paying him for April and May. You're paying him for October. So if he can come back remotely healthy by July, by All-Star break, guess what? I rather have him there by July, August for the playoff push than anything.
But honest to God, from all the reports I've read and
it doesn't
seen,
look like he's coming back.
I think I would not be shocked, and like I said, take this with a pound and a half of salt. I would not be shocked if Giancarlo came back and said, my career's over. I would not be shocked if that happened. Would it be sad that his career got cut short due to injuries? Yeah. So was David Wright was on. When David Wright was starting and David Wright was healthy, I thought this kid was going to be the next future Hall of Famer. Unfortunately, injuries curtailed him and his career was cut short. I think Giancarlo is head. Fuck, his name is Mike Stanton. He was always Mike Stanton to me. That's why I remember when he came up. Fuck this Giancarlo shit. Mike Stanton. His career could be done. And that's sad. Just like Jacob deGrom. I think Jacob deGrom, as much as for everybody saying, oh, Jake looked great in spring, Jake, I think, is done too.
Well, let's see. Like, that's the thing. Let's see how healthy he can stay.
For God's sakes, there's a name I heard in the Mets minor league system. They mentioned him this spring, and I heard a couple of YouTubers that I watch that mentioned his name, that he was touching 99 on the gun. Matthew Allen. The Mets drafted him, and they gave him a window of, when they drafted him, they said this kid's going to be in the majors in 2 years. He has not touched a major league mound in 3 years. They drafted him at 18. They thought this kid was going to be the next coming of Christ almost. This is the first year he's played anything professional. This kid had thoracic surgery, Tommy John surgery. He had that outlet thing that Matt Harvey had.
Yeah.
I forget what they call it. It's like an orbital thing. You're something with your shoulder, like in the socket with the ball socket in your shoulder. Orbital something. I forget what it's called. Yeah. Thoracic or something. I forget what it's called. But he's had everything arm trouble wise. The fact that the kid is still playing and he's still trying to pursue it, that shows me toughness right there. Hope the kid comes out. I gave up on him years ago. I don't think he's showing brilliance. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know if he's got anything in him. But the future is whatever it is. But all right, let's bring this home.
But yeah. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the show. If you like what you heard, please follow us on our social media accounts under the Nerd Report Network. Follow us individually on Twitter at F and Ronnie.
At the Zombie Master.
Follow us, Ryan and them can give their stuff later when we come back on next week. But with that being said, if you like what you heard, please tell your friends. If you didn't,
go fuck yourself.
Tell your enemies. But until then, remember to remind them 3 things. 1, I know they don't like it, but a hot dog is a sandwich. 2, Bobby Bonilla be getting paid. And 3, there is always a teachable moment. And hell, if you don't believe us, then fuck it. That's just